we're sitting here at Brookings in Washington, a short drive away from where Zbigniew Brzezinski used to live in Virginia. Mm-hmm. And he was very much an expression of out-of-the-box thinking at a time, as you said, which was more divided. The world was much more divided then than it is now, in a sense. And also, Brzezinski was not a diplomat himself. It was a few good people with common purpose and with skill, and they weren't necessarily diplomats, who managed to move the world forward out of a war. Do you think we have those out-of-the-box thinkers today when you think about the people in China and those in America who are involved in these discussions?
Well, later Brzezinski and also Dr. Henry Kissinger now is 100 years old or 100 years young. And also Mandarin Albright, who just recently passed away. These are all brilliant diplomats and strategic thinkers. They have one thing in common. They all have born in overseas, and they also have a very strong perspective, in their cases from Europe. And so that experience broadened their horizon to understand we should have empathy, at least to understand how other people perceive, and particularly when we talk about diplomacy. Now, when you talk about Brzezinski, I remember 25 years ago that he wrote a book, Grand Chess. In that book, there's one line caught my attention because I used that book when I was college professor at Hamilton College. He said that the most dangerous scenario, again, he said 25 years ago, is three countries, Russia, China, Iran, came together, not by ideological group, but by the shared fear dealing with a formidable threat from United States. If that's the case, it launches a serious challenge for United States, that you need to deal with challenges from Eurasia, from the south, from east, from the west. So that's the scenario that he worried. But 25 years later, we face that kind of situation. A couple of years ago, China signed agreement with Iran in terms of multiple areas, in terms of settled oil trade by RMB and provide Iran with the Chinese Beidou and navigation system instead of the previously used GPS. And also, most importantly, that China will heavily engage with Iran, just ignore the economic sanction. So these two countries, despite all the differences, they come together. The same things with Russia. China and Russia have quite different because of different standing in the global politics. China is a rising power, Russia is a declining power. China benefits from the economic globalization, Russia suffer to a certain extent. But now they face the same challenge because we consider China as a kind of the evil force, the evil bloc that along with Russia and Iran. Now that kind of bifurcation really pushes this country together, right? But of course this time, Russia is not a leader. Russia is a follower, China is a leader. Of course, Chinese leadership, they don't like this kind of narrative. They do not see the world in that way. But at the same time, when you push China go that direction, where you think China is the most formidable enemy, they have to go along with Russia and Iran. So that's the paradox, that's the dilemma that China faces. It's certainly, this tells us the brilliance of the later Brzezinski.